smoke sensitive. If a fire was to start underneath it here, like maybe your Christmas tree caught on fire, once enough heat built up, that rod would break, and that would allow this piston to drop and the water to come out.
Just like on the ship.
Oh yeah, I guess it would be. So
it has to reach a certain temp.
Exactly. So it's not like you're going to smoke into the house and the fire detector's going to go off. All the plugs in here are GFI protected. There's one back there with a reset. There's another one over there that has the reset switch on. This here is a future port for an electric car. Or maybe you're going to do some arc welding, you can put a plug in that. But there's a conduit that runs from here into the back of the electric panel. So in the event that you got to plug an electric vehicle, we don't know what kind of plug that would take or what kind of breaker would be required. You'd hire an electrician, he'd put that in and put in the corresponding plug. This is your sprinkler system. These are awesome finders. They're huge.
Apo sa shal.
It's simple to use.
Nice.
Instructions in here. You can see there's 12 stations. We're using 3 of them right now in the front yard. There's an extra wire for rear yard sprinkler control that's run to where the valves are over there. So if you're going to put in additional valves in the backyard, you can tie into that wire. We've also run plumbing just behind the fence for sprinklers in the rear yard. And we've got a little pipe sticking up out of the ground right now, so it's really easy to find.
What's a sprinkler? I thought we were going to drain.
What's
Sprinkler.
and then, this also has a rain sensor connected to it. We've got it on a bypass right now because we're trying to water the lawn. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to let this thing run like 3 times a day for 10 minutes a station and really set that sod. Once the sod sets, you probably turn this thing off for the rest of the winter time. We're on clay out here, so you really have to watch your watering. If you water too much, you're going to kill your lawn. So I found best in the summertime, I found that you can't water more than 5 minutes at a time. The rest of that water just winds up in the street if you do. So in the summertime, I found that you need about 10 minutes of watering a day. I water once at about 5:30 in the morning. I let it rest for an hour, and I come back and I water it for another 5 minutes, like at about 6:30. And that usually does the trick. If we get a heat wave, where it's 105 for a week or so, I might add a 3rd watering cycle at 5 o'clock in the afternoon just to make sure that the ground stays damp underneath. But that seems to work out pretty good. You can set all your sprinkler times. One cool feature on here is they've got this seasonal adjustment. So let's say you set your sprinklers to run in the summertime, right? And you get into October, you still need to water a little bit, but not quite as much. You go, hey, listen, I just want to water 50 or 40% of what I was watering in the summertime. It'll automatically pull everything back without having to go in here and reset everything. The opposite would be true if we got into a heat wave and you go, oh my gosh, the lawn is starting to look a little brown. Let's water 150% of what I got scheduled, and it'll boost the watering without having to readjust everything again. So that's that. There's a rain sensor outside I mentioned a moment ago. So when it's in the active setting, it won't let the sprinklers run so long as there is moisture in that cup. The cup is attached to the eave on the outside of the house. And that's that.
Where does the water come in? City water or ground water?
The water for the home, I think, is well water that comes somewhere in the south. I'm not sure exactly where. It's somewhere near the Consumnes River, but they pump it up here. As a result, it has a lot of minerals in it. It's really hard water. So you gotta, when you're in the shower, you gotta squeegee the shower every day, or you get the white, deposits that
Is
go
that the same water, just like the air in the shower?
Yeah. All the water, it all comes from the same source. This is your
Solar power.
This is the SunPower solar electric system. Obviously, when the sun is up during the daytime, you're generating electricity and you're selling that power back to SMUD. The idea being that, look, most people work during the day, so you're not home using power. So ideally, you're selling power to SMUD during the day when power is at its most expensive. And when you're using power at night, after the sun goes down, you're buying power back from SMUD, but you're buying it at that discounted evening rate. So you're selling high, you're buying low. And that allows you to get down to zero for a lot of folks on their electric bill. We've got this thing in the off position right now. You're more than welcome to turn it on. If you'd like a tutorial on how the system works,
Sure.
Joni down there can get you SunPower information, and you can call SunPower and they'll come out and do a full tutorial on the system. They can also show you how to hook this thing up to your internet where you can monitor your power usage in real time, which is pretty cool because nobody knows how to read their electric meter, so you can actually look at it on a graph on your computer in real time. load of laundry going, I've got a hair dryer going, I've got my TV on, like how much power is that consuming? And it'll show you that on a graph, which is pretty cool. So that's that. This is your fire suppression system. We went over the fact that if you were going to shut this thing off, you would have to shut off the water supply at the street. So in the event that there was some kind of an emergency, you would go out there first and shut it off, and then you would come here and flip this handle to release any residual pressure. So when I bleed this, it shoots out that little spigot that I showed you right behind the gate over here. So step one, you turn the flow of water off. Step number two, you want to relieve any residual pressure. This will take all the water out of the line. Put that water right outside. Also, so that the water doesn't go stagnant in there and then contaminate the water supply, your master toilet is hooked up to this. So every time you flush the master toilet, it uses a little bit of water out of the system so that the water is constantly moving. And like I said, it doesn't grow algae